down on American Second Amendment rights. The Second Amendment Task Force is the first advocacy group that Trump has launched and been directly involved with. Fox News reported the group plans to make a push in the upcoming midterm elections this year, especially in the voter registration sphere. Uh, this again, I think this is still good. What they're going to pretell, we're not quite sure, but I'm hoping that it will be a lot better than anything that Obama will be doing. Right now, this is the way where we can actually potentially fight back and get more things going on here. So, be that it may, hope it's all great and good. Trump Jr. told the Daily Wire that the group was focused on protecting Americans' rights to defend themselves, and that he's been encouraged to see people arm themselves who live in Democrat-controlled cities that are plagued with violence. Yes, this here specifically is what I would say is a huge problem. Mostly we see our democratic cities have the most violence, most because of the policies. I do know in California specifically, which we just did have where we just had recently a shooting that involved 12 people injured. That caused a lot of problems, and I want to say, what is it? It would be from downtown Sacramento, not that far from where I live, unfortunately. And that caused a lot of problems. And then, of course, Biden came out and decided to say, "Oh well, we need to crack down more on gun violence." And then, if you go further down the rabbit hole and start explaining things, you'll start seeing that these guys were already convicted convicts. They were specifically the ones that they got their guns illegally, which, again, as many people I keep telling them, is that the bad guys are just going to get the guns anyways. And due to this, since they're just going to get the guns, they're just going to be able to go rampant illegally. This is a black market, and there's not necessarily a way to stop the black market. So it's not necessarily a gun law issue. This is more of a black market issue, which you can't fix. And also, one gun was heavily modified to be a fully automatic weapon. So, therefore, again, this is mostly in democratic cities. California is a democratic city. And BLM is able to run rampant in these democratic cities. This has been consistent. The Democrats have had this consistently happen over and over again for a full year, which is the biggest problem that we've had. The democratic cities allow this to happen, and people are in fear for their lives, which is very much so because obviously the governments are not doing anything to stop it. So hopefully this will maybe remedy that. We're seeing record numbers of people, minorities, women, people from all walks of life, lawfully arming themselves, especially in Democrat-controlled cities where violence and crime is out of control. As I mentioned before, people are arming themselves more consistently. And Biden, again, wants to go after these people that are actively trying to defend themselves by hampering down harder on gun rights. Absolutely asinine. I don't think you're going to get a normal American that actively want to protect themselves and their family to have the gun rights essentially revoked so they can't protect their families. Especially when people live more in rural areas. In more rural areas, you need a weapon or a gun of some sort so you can actually protect yourself from wildlife. I mean, it's not just in cities where there's could potentially a lot more crime, a lot more people, but in rural areas you're out by yourself, and it takes a lot longer for police to get to you, in order to protect yourself or for them to protect you. So, again, this is a thing. We've got to make sure every American citizen maintains their God-given, constitutionally protected right to defend themselves and their family. That's what the Second Amendment Task Force is all about. Good. Trump Jr., who will serve as chairman of the Second Amendment Task Force, said in a separate statement to Fox that the Second Amendment was the whole ball game. It's the freedom that protects all of our other freedoms. Agreed. Unfortunately, the Biden administration and Democrats in Congress are hell-bent on eroding our constitutional right to keep and bear arms, whether it's nominating radical gun grabbers to senior positions in the executive branch or pushing anti-gun legislation. Yep, Trump Jr. said the Second Amendment Task Force is entirely devoted to ensuring the left is never successful in disarming American citizens. The idea for the group came from our successful effort to stop a radical anti-gun lobbyist from becoming the head of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, ATF. Trump Jr. said in the reference to David Chipman, we had to make sure that the American people who knew what was going on, especially with the red state Democrats, if they're considering casting an anti-Second Amendment vote. We're going to make sure they feel the pain. This new group will help us put more structure and resources around those efforts to make sure we're as successful as we can be. And I agree. More gun rights will help us protect us more. Everything that we have here will be way better in this sense to have everything go along as well. And this will be, I would say, a lot better for all of us to have this fixed and vindicated. Hope all goes well in this case, because that. And as people will see that I would say I don't have my Discord on, or don't have my or I just have Guild up. This is due to the fact I do use Discord. Unfortunately, I do want to step away, and I will be stepping away shortly. I'm trying to get all my people that are on there to shift away from Discord, but currently some of my contracts or some of the people that I talk to on Discord are not particularly wanting to leave, or I need to keep in contact with them so I can have them, so I can do business with them on there. So, yeah, I do not like Discord. I disavow Discord, and I don't really use it all that much in terms of any other things. So, Discord is a mess. For this here. Thanks for watching this clip from my podcast that I make every day, Monday through Friday, 3 o'clock p.m. PST to all the way to 5 o'clock p.m. PST. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like, and comment. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.